Սելերսատողնել ուրերի ժամը շարունակվում է, առաջիկա րոպեների ընթացքում խոսելու ենք հաջորդ տարի Կալիֆոռնիայում կայանալի կոնգրեսի ընտրությունների, այդ ընտրությունների քաղաքական նշանակության եւ կարեւորության մասին։ Այս պահին արդեն մեր տաղավարում հյուրընկալել ենք Jirair Ratevosianին, ով կներկայացնի ինչու եւ ինչպես է որոշել մասնակցել կոնգրեսի ընտրություններին, ինչ հիմնական հարցեր են այսօր հուզում Լոս Անջելեսում բնակվող քաղաքացիներին եւ ինչպես է նա պատրաստվում այդ հարցերը լուծել կոնգրեսում ընտրվելու դեպքում։ Thank you very much for being with us today.
Շնորհակալ ենք մեր տաղավարում հյուրընկալվելու համար։ Ինչպես որոշեցիք մասնակցել կոնգրեսի ընտրություններին եւ որքանով կարեւոր են լինելու հաջորդ տարի անցկացվելիք ընտրությունները։
Thank you, Armine. John, thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege for me to be here and speak to you about these issues. This is a very important election. This is an election that will be very important for Armenians and for a lot of communities in the California 30th District. The district includes rich diversity, including Armenians that live in Burbank, in Glendale, in Hollywood, and Pasadena as well. And there are a number of issues that Armenians face just like any other community. Healthcare costs are going up, housing costs are going up. It's harder and harder to pay for education. Student loans are a big burden for students. These are the issues that I'm going to be championing. I'm a public health doctor and I want to work on healthcare issues to reduce the cost of prescription drugs and to make healthcare more accessible for all people. Not to mention foreign policy issues. We are all watching what's happening in Artsakh. Shad deshvar zamanaka now for our communities in Hayastan and also here as a diaspora, watching what's happening and what's unfolding with this unconscionable blockade. More than ever, we need an Armenian leader, an Armenian voice to be able to lead on Armenian issues in Washington. I just came from Washington, that's where I've worked. I know what the job is like and I'm ready to do that on day one.
After you elected,
Ընտրություններից հետո որ խնդիրներն են լինելու առաջնայինը ձեզ համար։
There's so many challenges, Armine. I had, my grandfather came to this country. They came to America for a second chance. They were able to put me through school. My parents worked jobs to put me through Armenian school. I went to 3 Armenian schools. I was educated by the Armenian system. I went to Alex Pilibos, Bkhitarian, and Ferayan, and graduated in Ferayan. And now I have the opportunities that many people don't because that American dream came true for my grandfather. I'm living proof that dream came true. But for many families, many communities, that dream is hard to reach. And so I'll be focusing on issues that affect everyday people, including housing, including healthcare, including crime, including homelessness. There are so many challenges that we need to tackle so that people can live their lives, economic development can continue. As we're saying. And these are the challenges that I want to take on day one in Congress. I also think Armenians we're global citizens. We live here and we're active members of the diaspora. And we also have to work on foreign policy issues because everything local is global. And more than ever now, what's happening in Artsakh, what's happening in the region, we need a leader who can take on these foreign policy issues and pursue real peace and real diplomacy. And that's what I'm ready to do on day one.
Can you share a little bit background information about you, where did you work and all that important?
Oh, sure, yes. I've had a lot of privileges growing up because, again, my parents worked hard. My grandparents worked hard, and I had the ability to get educated. I went to UCLA for undergrad. Then I went to Boston University to get a master's degree in public health, and just got my doctoral degree from Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. So I'm a public health doctor as well. I've worked for the United States Congress. I was legislative director to Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who is one of my champions and is a huge champion for Armenian issues. I've worked at the State Department for President Biden and Secretary Blinken. I worked on LGBTQ issues, on human rights issues, on healthcare issues. I've also worked for a global company, and in that global company I worked to deliver medicines and make them more affordable for people all around the world, including in Armenia. And so I've had a number of opportunities that have been able to give me the experience and the skills that I need to tackle the issues that are facing communities and people in Armenia and in this district, and I'm ready to do that on day one.
And at the end, how important
Որքանով կարևոր է լինելու ընտրել հայ տեխնացուի եւ ունենալ հայ կոնգրեսական։
Armenian congressman?
Yeah, this is what motivates me the most. I think I'm in this race because representation matters, and it matters more than ever. Why do I say that? I had the opportunity to climb Mount Ararat in 2019, actually, just a few months before the war in Artsakh. And I've never been so connected to Armenian issues and to my homeland than when I climbed Mount Ararat. And so what's happening now in the region is personal and deshvara. It's Anir Jamanaka Menkus Hamar. But it's also a reason why, more than ever, we need an Armenian voice and an Armenian leader to be able to tackle these issues from day one. That's why I think it's important to elect an Armenian American. This district has the most number of Armenian Americans in the country. Armenians are contributing to economic development. Armenians are teachers, they're business owners, and they face the same challenges that any community faces. And I want to have the opportunity to be able to, and the privilege to be able to represent them in Congress. And I know what the job is like, and I can do that on day one.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for answering to our questions.
Thank you so much for having me, Armine.